What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to go over the rear brake upgrade for a 2005 to 2014 S197 Mustang. Now admittedly, for right now, I decided to forego this upgrade and just do rear rotors and pads. And I'm going to show you what I used and kind of why I chose it. And I'm also going to go over why I chose not to do this upgrade, just for now. And also we're going to tackle the jounce bumper replacement. I'm just going to show you that real quick. And so without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so what we have here are the original Ford rotors off the Mustang. And over here we have the brand new Power Stop blank rotors. Now I opted to go with a non-drilled, non-slotted rotor, and the reason for that was there's really not a lot of performance gain to be had on anything like this for just a regular kind of street-driven Mustang like mine where I don't do any sort of track or anything. But the main goal here was just to do the rear rotors. And one of the things that a lot of people will talk about is the brake upgrades that you can do on these cars. And while the front seems to be a place where you can definitely get an upgrade, the rear seems to be one that is not really needed and, truth be told, more aesthetics than anything. So there's two main upgrades you can do to the rear of these cars to accomplish the same thing. And the first one is the OEM route. It requires you getting 1314 GT500 rear brake rotors. You're going to need the backing plates and any of that miscellaneous components that go with where that main backing plate mounts. And then what's going to happen is you'll need to drain the fluid out of the rear end, pull the axles out, swap over those different components, and I think it's like the backing plate and all that sort of stuff, and then you put everything back together and you put the new brake rotors on, and now you have that larger rear rotor, but you're utilizing your same factory caliper. Because the GT500s used the same caliper, it was just a bigger brake rotor, and obviously, you know, the mounting location on the backing plate was larger. So the second way you can do this is the way I plan to go about this, and that is using the ncmustangparts. You can find this on eBay, you can search online. He's been making these for years, and it's an adapter bracket. And what it does is it bolts to the factory caliper mounting location. This bracket bolts on, and then your caliper then bolts to this adapter. And what it does is it moves the caliper to OEM spec, where it would be on a GT500 from 1314, and you end up with the same spacing, so you can run that larger rear GT500 rotor. Now the nice thing about going this route is you don't have to do anything with the rear diff. You're not draining fluid, you're not pulling axles, you're not doing anything other than that bracket. So to me, it makes a lot of sense for a street-driven car. But if you go on a site like Track Mustangs Online, that forum, I was reading guys pushing those cars 130 plus miles an hour on tracks using those brackets for years and never having any sort of issue. Now I opted not to do the upgrade, and I just went with the Power Stop non-drilled, non-slotted rotors, and as you can see, I also finally replaced the jounce bumpers. And as you can see right here, it literally had just come apart. It was time, it was on my list, and I just was waiting till I did the rear rotors so that I could do it all at once. So guys, I'm over here editing the video, as you can see behind me, and I've had the rotors on for about 2 weeks. They've performed well, no issues, no real big news with them. They're stock style replacements that work really, really well. You know, at some point I would love to do the GT500 brake upgrade. It would look really nice. I mean, no real performance gain for me because I don't track the car, and I'm sure a lot of you guys don't track either, so it's more of just for looks. But honestly, guys, with everything going on in the economy, all the part shortages and material shortages and just the overall gloomy outlook for the economy, I chose to just go this route. I had already had new brake pads last summer, and I've only put like 5,000–6,000 miles on them, and I'm really easy on the brakes. Plus, gosh, 2,000 of that was a highway trip. And I was able to get these rotors for $61 shipped for both of them. So pretty hard to pass that up. Just really thinking a little bit more of the finances and is this really the best way to go? And for me, it wasn't. I didn't want to spend hundreds of dollars that didn't add to anything. And I just wanted to do the maintenance, kind of make a video about it, show you why I didn't do it, but give you the options and then just kind of move on. So guys, any questions, absolutely let me know. You just have to weigh whether it's worth it or not. For me, it doesn't in this kind of time frame right now. but it may be for you. So let me know any questions, guys. I appreciate you watching, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.